Maybe.
I might
Okay, let's see.
Wait a
Let's see.
second. A reveal on that curling show. I love this.
Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
Who's watching back home? Who do you want to give a shout out to on that curl?
Oh, there's so many. But my family, I mean, it was pretty cool. My sister sent me some pictures of a watch party at her place. So they stayed up all last night watching our games. And, you know, I want to shout out to my mom and stepdad, my dad. I don't know, just friends, all my friends that are watching them. I definitely would forget somebody if I'm naming everybody, but just friends and family at home. They are my biggest fans for sure, and they're loving the game. So I'm glad for that.
Look at that.
Oh, nice. We've all got our shirts for them.
Jon, it's your first medal, and you made some clutch shots down the stretch. You lived up to the nickname Big Shot Jon, didn't you, when the team needed it? Maybe we just coined you Big Shot Jon.
There you go. I'll be glad to earn that nickname, so it's good.
Big Shot Jon.
There you go, Devin, Colleen. Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you. That was nice memories when you look back. Does it still make you go, woo?
It was just an incredible experience. Yeah, just every time I think of it, nothing but warm feelings. And, it was a pleasure, just the whole journey.
Jon,
Now listen. Oh, sorry, Deb, you go.
Well, I was going to say it was such a special time, and I remember Colleen and I, we were talking to your family and friends, and I think they were all sort of hiding, and then they moved the camera and everybody jumped up. It was such a great moment. I wonder what it's been like over these last number of months, just being able to talk about that experience and share that moment with everybody who's important to you in your life.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Honestly, I didn't understand. Firstly, to be able to share that experience with family and friends and get home and to listen to their stories, like we felt like it was a marathon being there, but they were doing double duty too. They were going to work, but they were staying up all night to watch all our games, and so they felt like they needed some rest too when I got home. So it was cool to share that experience, and honestly, so much support from my local club too. It was amazing to people that hadn't watched wheelchair curling were just totally engaged and just loving the game, and they stayed up, watched live too. So just it was amazing to hear everybody's story when we got back. One of my favorite things.
Nice.
It is kind of amazing that both wheelchair curling and mixed doubles curling, it's just captured the viewer's imagination, because they're still, for both of them, when it comes to television, fairly new. But listen, we're not here to talk to you about curling. We want to talk about your modeling career, because you made it into the very famous curling calendar. So I can't wait to see the photo. I haven't seen it yet. Tell me we're going to see it. Are you wearing like a bathing suit, or what's going on? Or...
You'll have to get a calendar to find out, I think, Colleen. It was an honor though. Like I was honored to be in the calendar to represent wheelchair curling, and really glad to do that. It was, and raise funds for obviously a great cause, youth curling. I was able to raise some funds for my local clubs that have supported me so much, and it's a really great fundraising initiative. So I was happy to be part of it.
Tell us about that, Jon, because I, as I understand it, you get to pick your charity. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So, so my online sales will go towards for the love of curling, Curling Canada Youth Scholarships, and then the in-person sales, which are going to support two of my clubs. So Peterborough Curling Club is my main club, and then Bob Cajun Curling Club is another club that I train at and super supportive of me. So I chose those two clubs because they both supported me so much in my journey to become a Paralympian. And it was amazing to be able to give back to the clubs.
Awesome.
Give us an idea of the pose. At least give us an idea of the pose. Where you like,
It's not on ice. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Not
All right.
Okay. We're looking forward to seeing this because I know we were getting ready for the show and we were talking, where are the photos? We want to see the photos, John.
He doesn't even have a copy himself to even hold up. Say that.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I might
Maybe.
have. I might
Okay. Let's see.
wait a
Let's see.
second. A reveal on that curling show. I love this.
All right.
See,
You
it's
have to give us a
coming.
second. It's still on the wrapper, so we're gonna.
Oh, get the knife, unpeel it.
This is
Yeah.
So while that happens, and we'll get ready for that, John, you've done so much for the sport. You mentioned the 2 curling clubs that have done a lot for you. How do we grow this? We now have wheelchair mixed doubles curling, a world championship. This is growing. What more needs to happen in this sport to get more Canadians involved, to get more Canadians watching, to get more curling clubs wheelchair accessible, so that we can grow this sport?
Yeah, I think it's continuing to build off, the amazing exposure that we had at the Paralympics. CBC did such an amazing job with CBC Gem. Everybody was able to watch all of our games. We've never had that before. We were all so thankful for all the coverage. So hopefully that continues. Obviously, we have our World Championships this year are in Richmond, BC. We're the host country. Hoping to have some great coverage with that, and exposure of the sport. I think we're trying to build that sport to get more participants involved, whether it's at recreational level or competition. So continuing to trying to get more people out to try it and to fall in love with the sport like I am.
Yeah. Well, certainly COVID was a tough time, I know, because Canadians were canceled and provincials were canceled. I know for the wheelchair curlers in Nova Scotia, it was really frustrating for them to be putting in the work and never being able to go to the Canadians. So hopefully that'll be back. Okay, do you have the calendar ready yet? Do we have a drum roll?
I do. So
Let's
the
see.
reveal.
Yeah.
The reveal.
Yeah. Let's see. We've hyped it.
I don't know if I hyped it.
What month are you?
I am Mr. September.
Okay, Mr.
Of course.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes.
that's crazy.
I should have known about this because I know a lot about you. Tell us about this because you're really good at this.
Yeah, well, there's many that are much better than me, but I made some really good gains this year at that. So I started competitive adaptive water skiing in 2018, and slowly fallen in love with that sport too. But it was nice. The pandemic had kind of the last 2 years the program hasn't ran, but I made Team Canada in 2019, got to represent Canada in Norway, and then it was so nice to have the program back this year. I got a lot of water time, a lot of training, and I made some really good gains. Made second in slalom in nationals this year, and third in trick, and
Wow,
trick Canadians at US nationals. So it's a sport I've fallen in love with too. So I got a summer sport and a winter sport, and I'm pretty happy.
Okay, tell us your best trick.
Slalom, I have to say, is my funnest sport, or the sport I enjoy the most, the event I enjoy the most. Trick, it's mostly surface tricks. Working on the 360, 720, but it takes a lot of water time, so I'm still working at that, Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe some summer Devin and I can, before the Paralympics, we come for a summer and you teach Devin and I some tricks and see how much lake water we drink.
Yeah, we'll get you on.
All right, it's a
We'll,
deal.
try it
It's
out.
a deal. That's fascinating. I didn't even know there was such a thing as adaptive water skiing. Good
Me
for you.
either, and then but I've really enjoyed it.
I'm glad to hear I wasn't just fully stupid if you didn't know and I didn't know.
But,
He does it all. You're incredible, Jon, and I'm always grateful when you make the time for us. It's always so good to talk to you. Can you tell us? Oh, Colleen was going to jump
Yeah,
in. Can
he's
you
not John. He's Mr. September.
Mr. September.
Hello.
Can you tell us what the schedule looks like in terms of leading up to the World Championships in Richmond, which we really hope we can be at, and we will be shining a light on that. But can you tell us what this
Amazing. Yeah. So we travel to Vancouver on Monday. So we have the Canadian Wheelchair Opens in Richmond, BC. So that'll be our first competition of the season. So we're excited to do that. And then we come to Toronto for the Ontario Wheelchair Open. And then from there, we have a mixed doubles competition in Edmonton.
Nice.
Yeah, so super excited for that. Kind of one of our first mixed double events, and then it'll be training ahead of the Worlds, which will be March 4th to 11th, I believe, in Richmond.
Were you guys at the Richmond club before you went to Beijing? Am I remembering that correctly, or was it a club?
We were in Richmond. We did our staging there. The Richmond Curling Club was actually closed, so we actually did training at the Delta Thistle Curling Club, which were so supportive of us. We had pretty much the club to ourselves to train, and it was incredible. And then we stayed in Richmond and had the opportunity to train at the Olympic Oval there too, off ice. So it was a pretty great place to stage. So we're excited to go back there and train ahead of this world.
Awesome. Well, Mr. September, thank you for showing us that, because that led to a fabulous story that was not curling related, which we always love when we digress.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Colleen.
we'll be there on the lake with you soon.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Devin and Colleen, for having me. I really appreciate it. It's great to be on the show.
Anytime, Mr. September.
Yeah, no kidding. Always a pleasure. Get your calendars. Jon, always wonderful to see you, and we'll be tracking the team throughout the season to the World Championship.
Really appreciate it.